What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about probably the coolest little thing I've ever built. We are going to be talking about my custom V7's AR-15 pistol. It is pretty awesome. It might be my go-to weapon to pick up in a WROL shit hit the fan type situation. But first, I just want to take a second to thank my Patreon supporters. Honest Outlaw Reviews is a crowd-funded channel. I make 100% truthful reviews to give you the information you need to make the purchases that you want. If you join, you'll be entered into a monthly giveaway for gun and gear-related items. Thank you for all the support. It goes to ammunition, guns, and gear for reviews. It takes a lot of work to make these videos, but I love to do it, and I really appreciate your help. So in this video, I want to review it and talk about what parts I put on it and why. Now, all these parts will probably get a full review, at least the parts I haven't reviewed yet. So stay tuned for all those details, but right now we'll just do an overview of the pistol in general. Let's start at the front. This is a Lantac Dragon muzzle brake. The Lantac in particular keeps the rifle pistol, it keeps it where I want it. And what that means is lots of brakes or compensators work really well. Flash hiders work really well too. If I was gonna walk out the door right now, I might actually switch this for a flash hider. If this was my only weapon for defense, I might actually switch it for an A2 flash hider. But I use this on the range a ton, and the muzzle brake just makes it a little bit quicker and makes it a little bit easier to stay on target. It's expensive, but it works extremely well, and it is my favorite overall brake. I have the V7's ultralight rail. This is a magnesium rail. I've done a full review on it. This is the 11.5 inch. Really, really light. That's why I picked it, and it's M-LOK, and it's pretty strong, and it connects very similar to the BCM rail, so I like the platform, and I really like the rail. These are Bobro flip-up backup iron sights. Now, I don't usually run backup iron sights. A lot of people are going to give me crap about that, but I run a pretty high quality optic on most of my rifles, so I don't really need them. But this is one of those shit hit the fan type home defense sort of weapons, so I want to make sure I have a backup sighting system in case my battery's dead, because that does happen on electronics. But these I chose because they're extremely low profile, one of, if not the lowest profile on the market. Sometimes when you put your thumb, like a thumb over bore grip, you'll get in the way of your iron sights. These are not the case. You don't even notice they're there. You can press down on them and use pressure, and it doesn't bother you at all. And if you flip them up, it's a high quality sight picture. It's a really nice sight picture without sacrificing any space on your rail at all, and also without sacrificing any weight at all. So my Magpul backup iron sights, which are also another favorite of mine, the Magpul Pros, are around 3.5 ounces. I think these are 1.5 ounces, so half the weight for the same sight picture and same durability. I have an SLR Rifleworks adjustable titanium gas block in there. I like them because you only have to have as much gas as you need. So a lot of rifles, especially smaller ones, can be very overgassed very quickly, where the adjustable gas block really narrows that down, and this 11.5 with the Lantac, the adjustable gas block, and the bolt carrier we'll talk about, shoots like a 14.5. So you lose the extra length that you don't really need, and you can still shoot just as quickly. .204. Now that is attached to an 11.5 inch BCM barrel. Now BCM barrels are probably my favorite overall barrels on the market because they don't sacrifice quality or accuracy, and they really know how to keep the weight down. This barrel is one of the lightest on the market. I think it's right around a pound. Don't quote me on that, but it is around the same weight as the 10.5 inch Falcor Defense, which I think is the other lightest weight barrel on the market. But the BCM, I just trust. I trust BCM products. You see I have BCM rail covers there. I've been a huge fan of their company for years, and they've never let me down. So doesn't sacrifice accuracy and has very light weight. And the 11.5 inch I chose over the 10.5 because of the dwell time. The dwell time is a lot better in 11.5, and the tumbling distance is a lot better in 11.5. For an extra inch, I get, in my opinion, a lot of extra functionality. Now, I know there's a lot of 10.5s on the market that are very reliable, and that's great. You know, the Daniel Defense MK18, but 11.5 is where it's at for me. Vendetta Precision VP24 M-LOK hand stop, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It is kind of a mixture between a vertical grip, what I would use a vertical grip for anyway. So when I use a vertical grip, I use a really stubby grip, and I usually use it slightly angled backward. I really like the BCM, but there's some legality problems with that, and there's also kind of a bulk problem with that, especially when you use it like a hand stop like I do. When I found this thing, man, that really changed my mind on hand stops. I haven't been a huge hand stop guy, but this is very comfortable, functions very well as kind of a vertical grip while still being legal on AR pistols. Now, AR pistols can accept a vertical grip if it's an 11.5 inch, and I have ran one on this in the past, but I also have 9-inch AR pistols, and I'm probably gonna have a 5-inch 9mm pretty soon, and I want some universality with the way I grip the pistol. So I went with this, and this will probably go on my future builds. I really like it. I don't remember how much it costs, but there definitely will be a full review. I think it's somewhere around $30 if my memory serves me. Move down here a little bit more and you'll see my sling. Now this is my Slingster. I don't remember a huge amount about it. I bought it on T-Rex Arms' website. He had a video that swears by it, and I really like these adjustable slings, and I really like QD mount slings. It's like the Vickers that I really like, but it's actually a lot lighter. It's made out of lighter material. It feels similar to the Haley Strategic sling, but this is a dedicated 2-point sling, and it has a pad on it, and it comes in multicam black, which I really like. I think it looks really cool, and this is an awesome sling, one of my all-time favorites. This is a 2A armament lower receiver. It is a Balios Light. I swear I'm going to do a review on this at some time soon, but these are my favorite lower receivers. Very, very lightweight, almost half the weight of a normal receiver with no loss in functionality at all. I've had no issues over tens of thousands of rounds through these. My 3-gun AR-15 has a lower, the same as this on there as well, and tons of rounds through it. It also comes with the beveled magwell, which I really like as well. So that's really awesome. It has the integrated trigger guard in it, because I don't like putting those in when you buy them, and it looks really nice. It has a really clean look to it without looking too space age, and it's very, very functional. Lancer magazines, I usually run Lancer magazines. I have Magpul still. I have a ton of them, so you'll definitely still see them in my videos, but all the new magazines I buy are Lancer mags. Why? Because, not because of reliability, Magpul mags are very reliable, but because these are translucent and they have the metal feed lips. V7 parts, internal parts like this mag release and stuff like that, partially because it's lighter weight and it gives me a little extra texture, but honestly it's because I think that mag release looks really cool, and some of the other parts are very lightweight. They're made of titanium, so they're super strong and very light. This is the flat face Geisley 3-gun trigger, so I can shoot super quick. That's the only reason why I have it.
1.31.
This is a badass safety lever. I have it on almost all my pistols or rifles. They're very customizable. I like to have a ambi safety because my wife is left-handed, but I don't like to have it in the way of my grip when I'm shooting. So I actually have the short, fat one on the weak side, and on the actual side that the safety normally is, I have the long, fat one, which I really, really like. And you can buy different versions of this and just unscrew this screw and put different versions on. Now remember, you want to Loctite these because those will fall off. Now the upper is a V7's upper, and I really, really like it. I'll have a full review on it. There's a couple of things I don't love about it. One is the price. It is super expensive, but it is made out of some space age material that makes it very, very light, yet actually stronger than the regular material that you normally get. Because one of the things about an upper that I really worry about is I don't like to buy like magnesium uppers or anything because, well, there's explosions that happen here, you see, and my face sits about right here, and explosions next to my face. I want to make sure that I have enough to cover that from damaging the moneymaker. Man, probably one of the best bolt carriers I've ever seen, and I'm gonna have a review on this really soon. I'm actually gonna film that review after I film this one. In there is a Cryptek Coatings lightweight bolt carrier group, and it is fantastic. It's very, very light. One of the things that does is decrease the overall weight of the pistol or rifle, whatever you're gonna put it in, but mainly it actually reduces the recoil, which is very, very cool. I have the Daniel Defense mount, classic. I've used them for years. I think they're a little bit heavier than the Skylarworks now. I've got Skylarworks mounts too. They're just solid. It's a solid piece of gear. As you can see, this thing's all beat up because this is an old red dot, but it's been on this mount, and this thing doesn't lose zero, and it's good to go. Now on top of it is my Aimpoint H1. And I have T2s, and you ask why I have the H1. Well, because the H1 found its way on here, and I don't really notice the difference between them. The T2 is a little bit clearer, but other than that, they both work very well. These are my custom Magpul Myad grips. I got big old hands, as you see there, so I like the Myad grip because it gives you extra real estate between the web of your hand and the trigger, and that places my trigger finger where I like it. So it's bigger than the Myad, and it has a better grip to me, and I forget what company I get them from, but I get them custom engraved engraved, so that's pretty cool as well. And inside that is a battery and a little thing of lubricant, because those are the two things I find I need the most. I know a lot of guys think it's cool to put a dead man bullet in there. I've never needed an extra bullet, but I have needed lots of lube, and I have needed batteries for my weapon light. Now, people put 8-point batteries in there. My 8-point lasts 5 years without a battery. My weapon light lasts about 2 weeks. And I forgot to mention the weapon light. Over here, I'm not sure if it's going to stay. Usually my go-to AR-15 weapon light is a X300 Ultra, and that's because Surefire X300 Ultras are freaking bomb-proof. I actually have one right now that said the glass broke for 2 years, and I've ran it on a shotgun since then for 2 years, and it still works just fine. But the Streamlight TLR7, one of the things that I like to do with new lights is I like to try them on AR-15s, because a lot of times the shockwave will break the glass if it's not a super high quality one. And this has not broke so far, and I have shot a boatload of rounds through this, and it's good to go. The TLR7 is also super lightweight. It's like 2 ounces, you don't even notice on there, and you can still shoot at 100 yards with this. The only con that I see of it so far is that I don't love the switches that come on it, but Streamlight tells me that there's going to be new switches that you can put on them. We'll see about that. I have the Magpul Bad Lever. I have a review on the Bad Lever. It's a fantastic piece of gear, and it's pretty cheap as well. I have the BCM AMB charging handle. I actually have a Geisley right now that is in the running for my favorite. These have been my favorite for years, but I got a Geisley from BigArmory.com. The Geisley is awesome because it keeps the gas out of your face when you're shooting suppressed. However, this I don't really shoot with a silencer, so I don't really have to worry about it that much, and the BCM's good to go. On the back of it, as you can see, I've taken this off a ton because I do a lot of AR pistol / rifle reviews and all that kind of stuff. So I change braces a shitload. And when I change braces, I always have to take this off. Now this is I think it's a titanium castle nut, which is very, very lightweight, cuts the weight of that in half, cuts the weight, and I have a V7's QD end plate there, and a V7's buffer tube there with a V7's buffer inside of it. I know a lot of you guys are like, why would you pay extra for lightweight parts when they don't really matter that much? Because this is what, 2 ounces lighter, this is maybe an ounce lighter, this is 2 ounces lighter. Well, ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. And trust me when I tell you, the end result is very, very light. And all of that was because I made sure that every single part that came on this pistol was exactly what I wanted. It didn't sacrifice functionality, but it was very lightweight. Now that's really important because you can make one of a Skeletor AR-15 that is really hard to shoot but only weighs 3 pounds. I don't want that. I'll take the extra pound or 2 and keep the functionality. I don't need to have the same functionality and have extra weight. So when I mention all these parts, the price of this pistol was pretty ridiculous. But the reason why is, number one, because I'm a gear reviewer and I can get parts from companies if I do reviews for them. So I just knew I wanted them. So I messaged the company and it was like, hey, I know you make great stuff. Send me this for review. And that's how I accumulated a lot of this. Now the SBA3 is another one of those products like that. I knew I really wanted this, messaged SB Tactical, and they sent out the best brace on the market. And I did a pretty comprehensive brace review just a little while back, and for my purposes, this is my favorite brace, so that's why it was on here. Before that, it was a Tailhook Mod 2, which, believe me, if you were in a gunfight, you wouldn't notice the difference, but for me, and just everyday use, this for me is a little bit better. It not only is it adjustable, but it allows the use of this very lightweight V7's buffer tube here. All this stuff on here. You've got your backup iron sights, which are very functional, very durable. You have a very durable red dot. You have a good hand stop. You have a decent lightweight light that would serve you very well in a self-defense situation, so no sacrifice there. Muzzle brake, barrel, all this stuff, no sacrifice. It's adjustable and it shoots very quickly and it's very, very reliable. All of this for about 5.2 pounds. I think maybe it's 5.4 now because I think I weighed that without the iron sights on it. I mean, if you look at an X95 stripped, like the bullpup rifle, those are 7.5 pounds. Even a stripped rifle that you buy today, or AR pistol for that matter, is going to be around 6.5, maybe 7 pounds. If it's like a Knight's Armament, it'll probably be 8. But this is totally kitted out, everything that you would possibly need, including lubricant and an extra battery and a sling. It's 5.4 pounds. So that is one of the reasons why I would grab this if I had to go hiking long distance, because I have all the functionality I would ever need. And honestly, if I changed this out for the A2, it probably might even be sub, because I think it's 5 pounds 4 ounces actually, not 5.4 pounds. But if I change this out, it might be sub 5 pounds. That is awesome. I love this thing. I love shooting it. It's easy to carry around. If I'm walking around looking for coyotes, this is an easy thing to grab. Another reason why the pistol, in my opinion, it has some things on it that make it more superior than an SBR. Now, I have SBR'd this. I have the paperwork in there. The advantage of an AR pistol over a rifle, let's say, is that an AR pistol, not only can it be bought straight from the store and you can shoot it as much as you want, but you can also take this particular one over state lines until I get it SBR. Now, SBRs, you have to alert people and do lots of things like that. An AR pistol is simply that. It's just a pistol. And this is one of, if not my favorite build that I have ever done. And I probably built 50 ARs in my life, maybe. The other V7s that I have is really close to it. That's a 14.5 with a proof research barrel. That's going to be more of an SPR 0 to 700 yard rifle. I'm actually going to go to sure shot range later this year when my hamstring gets a little bit better. I tore my hamstring. I'm going to take that out as far as I possibly can. And I also plan on taking this out as well because I have a lot of comments on my channel. When I say that you can shoot an 11.5 inch AR-15 pistol out to 300 yards, I say that because I live in Iowa. And people who live in Iowa have a lot of space. And that means that I've actually done it before. But you definitely can, and we're going to see what kind of groups we get out of this. Now, one of the things about an 11.5 that you might not know is that the shorter the barrel doesn't always mean the less accurate. Now, you're going to have less range, especially less lethal range in 5.56 because you're going to lose that tumbling factor because of the velocity loss between an 11 and a 16-inch barrel. However, the rigidity that you gain in a shorter barrel a lot of times can improve groups in shorter distances. So if you're looking for accuracy like hostage type accuracy, like if you got to take a headshot at 100 yards, you might want to look at a shorter barreled AR-15. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Now remember, I have my link for a local homeless shelter in the description below. Check that out. And I also have a link to my Patreon account. And I would really, really appreciate it if you guys became patrons. I'm giving a giveaway later this month for a Tailhook Mod 2. I also have another channel, my backup channel, which is Classic Rando, where we're going to do movie stuff, video game stuff. Please stop by your local homeless shelters and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.